from Zadarius and Preston and Adrian Amos on being in this team even in the first year.
Well, when you catch fire like this on and off the field, it you just never know what can happen, man. I don't want to really say it too much, but it's like these are the types of teams that come out of nowhere they're really the underdog. Like, people are talking about this defense, and they deserve to, because like I said last night, when Chad said, he made and I know it was just a Freudian slip, but he basically said the Bears defense was elite, and then the Packers defense was okay, and it's like, and I had to correct him, and he agreed, because it's like, no, they were on the same field, and their Bears defense had home field advantage and the comfortability and all that stuff going for them, and the Packers defense didn't just outperform them, they really outshined them head-to-head defensively wise. It's, and neither offense, it's not like, oh, well, yeah, the offense of the Packers was so much better, that's why. No, both offenses sucked, and yet the Packers defense did a hell of a lot more on their side than the Bears. And so it was like, yeah, then you have to call the Packers defense elite, because I'm not saying the Bears defense isn't.
I don't think he's watched the games, the first two of them. I think maybe he watched a little tape, but I don't think he's watched the tape on Green Bay's defense the first 2 weeks. Because if he did, I think he'd be saying everything with everybody else. What they've been saying is, Green Bay's got a defense now. And when I caught that, when you said, yeah, Green Bay's defense is okay. Well, it's more than just okay. It's the reason why we won these two games.
Oh, because if this was last year's defense, guys, we'd be 0-2.
Yep, in a heartbeat. And people would be writing us off, saying Rodgers doesn't need to retire. Is LaFleur a joke head coach? I can already hear all the headlines now if we had the defense from last year.
I'm being realistic here. I think, and I'm being realistic because I really want people. I expect this offense to eventually find its stride. And again, I said it earlier in the week when I was talking about the confidence that Aaron is going to build. You saw it from week 1 to week 2. He's at home again, and it's going to be another confidence builder this week. And like I said, I feel that this week, especially if Elgton Jenkins starts and plays the entire game at left guard, I think they actually break 28 points. And I think that builds the next step. Once there's a full trust and confidence between Aaron Rodgers and this system, and he's doing the things that he did 90% of the time, and he's doing those things 100% of the time or 99.9% of the time, i.e. Tom Brady-esque, guys, like, I expect that to be the week 13 stretch after they have a little rough patch through some injuries and stuff. Week 13 through the playoffs, if everything goes the way I've always anticipated it going, and all the good things, knock on wood, Aaron hits that stride between trust and confidence between head coach and offensive scheme, and this defense is only going to get better and grow from here. Guys, this is not a team you're going to want to mess with. It's just not. And it doesn't need the Denver Broncos, really, honestly, before they won those first 2 Super Bowls, did anybody know who Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey were?
I did.
Well, they weren't like they became household names because they won back-to-back Super Bowls and had big, but they going into those years, it wasn't like they were like, oh, Elway's got all kinds of weapons. Rod Smith was pretty good. They had Shannon Sharp. He was a definite good tight end.
Mark Schlereth was a top offensive lineman they've had.
Right, but nobody talks about offensive linemen even back then. They always talk about weapons, I'm saying. And look, because Aaron Rodgers has Bakhtiari, I'm just saying, there's a lot of similarities in when you look at those Denver Broncos Super Bowl years and those offenses and how they were built before they won the Super Bowls and how people viewed them. There's a lot of similarities here in these two teams. That's all I'm trying to paint the picture with people, just as a reference point to where I'm coming from with my take.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Oh, I know you are. Because you get where I'm picking up. You're picking up what I'm laying down. You know.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
That's right. What the J is cooking.
Oh God. You know what? I'd be down to try some of your cooking. You want to know why? Because freaking you working in like a mom and pop shop, man. I love that type of food. So I know people who can cook in there, can throw down.
Dude, but what you don't realize is I was also a sous chef in a 4-star restaurant, and I worked for.
I know you told me that too.
I worked for one of the richest Persian men in the world, and I had to cook his Persian food for him once in a while, and he only said 2 words: "I'm hungry."
So, but still, I'm still saying what I said before. Anybody that can throw down on a grill in a mom and pop shop, I'll eat their food any day.
But breakfast is less nerve-wracking than cooking high-dollar dinners. Trust me.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is.
It's just when I have to do breakfast and lunch at the same time, or when people decide that because we pretty much cook everything from scratch, like really like
Kind of like a Waffle House all day long, or is it just different times?
Dude, I've literally like spend at least 6 hours a week peeling and grating hash browns out of boiled potatoes by hand. So
hey, just some ketchup on them hash browns, baby.
Oh, you're just ruining them at that point.
No, you kidding me? Hash browns and ketchup is amazing.
It is. I'm not saying it's bad, but when they're that good, it's just like you're just covering them up with ketchup taste.
No, I'm pouring it on it and I mix it up.
Off subject. Stop.
And I'll crack egg yolk from the sunny side up, and then I'll put that in the hash browns.
Bacon is my favorite, man. Oh, I love.
I love getting like a breakfast platter and then taking all the elements and making one big breakfast sandwich from all the platter because you get a biscuit with it.
Well, we serve toast at breakfast. We're not in Georgia, but we do have homemade biscuit and gravy. It's not from a can.
I understand you have homemade biscuits and gravy, but ain't nothing like a Southern biscuits and gravy, sweetie.
Well, I'm sorry, but that argument would be relevant if the fact that, you know, the person that made those wasn't born and raised from the South.
I mean, that's fine. It's still become a staple down here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you get Southern biscuit and gravy at our restaurant, homemade from a Southern person.
So, or, one of my favorites. Sorry, kids, for cursing. Shit on a shingle. Oh, my God.
He makes that, too, by request sometimes. SOS.
Oh, it's so good.
On toast with eggs. Why are we talking about breakfast food? This is ridiculous.
I am sorry, folks. I'm hungry. All right, back to football. Sorry, rabbit hole with my stomach. Didn't help. My bad. Anyways. So I've been reading up on the trade rumors for the Packers still, and checking in a couple times today, and I've been seeing that Jakeem Grant is still, I guess, an eye for Green Bay, and Parker is, but they're more leaning towards Grant from what I've been reading, and I've talked to a couple people on that.
Last night too.
Yeah, well, it's becoming more involved, I guess, as the trade talks are kind of steaming up a little bit more because Miami wants to get their draft picks built up now rather than waiting in the season.
Well, because, you know, they're trying to tank, so the sooner they can get rid of the players, the better, you know, it's easier to tank.
Tank for Tua.
How do you feel if you're Josh Rosen right now? Like, you got traded, they gave up a second-round pick for you, and then, like, I don't get what the hell they're doing. Or maybe they're saving him, and that's why Fitzpatrick's out there, so they can build the super team, and then next year they're like, oh, by the way, Josh, this is why we gave up a second-round pick for you.
It's not even that. I mean, think about it. Cardinals were the worst team last year. The coaching staff, everything they had, horrible. Then they trade him to Miami. I had faith in Brian Flores, but I don't know what the hell Chris Greer, their GM, is doing. Like, I understand they're building up draft picks, trying to fully rehaul, God dang, like the way they're doing it, and then Josh Rosen basically has no stability at his new organization in Miami, and he's with the worst team in the league again. I just feel he needs some stability in his young career, and I feel like he could be solid, but it's not going to happen with him bouncing and getting traded to all these crap teams.
Well, somebody's
I feel bad for
eventually
him.
going to have to put him behind a line and see if he can play. I mean, and I think if he doesn't get a chance here next year, I think he'll end up walking away. He seems like that type.
You know what?
Anyway.
If he comes out and beats Dallas this weekend, it'll be one of the best freaking upsets in NFL history. Because Dallas is like plus 23.
I thought Fitzpatrick was playing.
Rosen got the start.
Really?
Yep, they came out and said he is the starting quarterback for Week 3, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is benched.
Well, that's surprising. News to my ears. I told you I've been kind of unplugged. I've been so busy lately. I've basically just
way to go.
Well, I've been trying to catch up at night, but it's so hard, man. I fell asleep twice trying to look at my phone last night.
Instead, your phone was looking at you.
It was. Trying to tell me the way.
Also, another subject I want to bring up. Man, the Packers need to extend Kenny Clark. Now, I fully agree that because the price is only going up with how many defensive tackles that are getting better and better in the NFL and are getting new deals. Packers need to extend him. Russ Ball needs to get on that and get him his money.
I expect them to pay him around $15 to $17 million a year, which will be under market.
How much?
15 to 17 a year, because that's what they gave Devontae, and frickin' look at what they just gave. He's getting like 20 or 22 there in L.A.
Who, Devontae?
No, Donald. Aaron Donald?
No, Donald's earning a little more than that, brother.
He's getting like 22 a year.
No, hold on, I'm looking while I'm on the phone and on the show. Bear with me, folks.
I'm telling you, Green Bay is going to give him. He's going to take.
Aaron Donald is making $17 million in 2019. 2020, he is making $25 million.
Let's see, he's averaging about $22 million a year. See,
yeah,
what I mean. You always go the long way of making me say the same thing.
And then Aaron Donald is making $28 million in 2021.
I'm telling you, Kenny Clark, they're going to get him for probably, and I would say it's probably 17, I bet. I bet he signs for about an average of 17 and a half. And
I mean,
that's just how they do it, and they'll do it, and he'll agree to it because, look, I will give them credit. They always get cap-friendly deals, but somehow or another, Russ Ball and their front office and they all get together and they literally work with the agent to word these things so that the cap hit is way under market value for like at least the first few years of the contract. And then at the end,
they'll backload the deal.
Right, and then the end, there's no guaranteed money left, so then it's still a low cap hit because the guaranteed money's off the books of part of the cap hit now, right? And so it's just like, but they end up giving the player, like, he gets paid so much money at the beginning, he's just happy because all these other people, they're like, oh, well, yeah, you're going to get all this money, but yeah, if they get cut after year 3, they get like 1/4 of what they signed the deal for. Whereas if they sign in Green Bay, they basically get all their guaranteed money. Boom, they sign to get their guaranteed money. And then they're basically making chump change on their salary the rest of the time. But that's why they signed for these market deals, because they're literally telling them, like, dude, you signed this deal, all your money's yours right now. And then we get a team-friendly deal. The cap's it's a friendly cap. I don't know the logistics of it all. It's way above like my intelligence level, quite honestly. I just know how it's being done and like what I can understand and what like has been written about. And they just basically, these players are